Hey guys, today we're diving into fantasy shows that started as books. These adaptations didn't just bring the magic to life, they raised the bar for fantasy TV. If you love epic worlds and wild plots, you're in for a treat. Let's jump in.
The enemy is real. It's always been real.
All right, let's just get the obvious one out of the way. Game of Thrones. Even if you somehow dodged watching it, you know this show. It pretty much changed fantasy TV forever. Based on George R.R. Martin's books, it threw us into the wild world of Westeros. Dragons, epic battles, and families constantly scheming like it's a medieval soap opera. Sure, the ending had people yelling at their TVs, but the ride? Totally insane. The world felt real, the characters were unforgettable, and the drama? Next level. This show set the bar for fantasy on TV, no question. Next up is Shadow and Bone, and man, this one had so much potential. It didn't last as long as fans hoped, but while it was here, it totally delivered. Based on the Grishaverse books, it follows Alina, an orphan who finds out she's a super rare Grisha with the power to summon light. No big deal, just maybe the only person who can destroy a creepy monster-filled darkness called the Shadowfold. The magic system was cool, the world felt alive, and the cast had real chemistry. It was all about power, identity, and tough choices. Short run? Yeah. But memorable? Absolutely.
Quentin, you are not crazy. Magic is real.
Now let's talk The Magicians. This one's wild in the best way. It starts off like, oh cool, magic school, but then takes a hard left into deep, dark, emotional territory. Quentin finds out magic is real and heads to Breakbills, which is like Hogwarts with student loans and trauma. Meanwhile, his friend Julia gets rejected and ends up learning magic the gritty underground way. This show hit heavy topics like addiction, depression, and identity, but still kept things super creative and unpredictable. Magic here isn't easy. It's messy, dangerous, and full of consequences. Totally underrated gem.
On the Iron Throne.
Of course, we gotta talk House of the Dragon. It's the Game of Thrones prequel, and yeah, it delivered. Based on George R.R. Martin's Fire and Blood, it throws us into the chaotic history of House Targaryen right before their big ol' civil war. You've got King Viserys trying to hold it together, Rhaenyra fighting for her claim, and Daemon just being, well, Daemon. The drama is messy in all the right ways. Visually, stunning. The sets, the dragons, the costumes, it's peak fantasy TV. It starts slow, sure, but once it picks up, it really hooks you. It's not just riding Throne's coattails, it's building its own legacy.
The world is changing.
All right, let's get into the Wheel of Time. Now, book fans had thoughts, and yeah, the show definitely did its own thing in parts. But visually, it's a total feast. Rosamund Pike absolutely crushes it as Moiraine, this powerful Aes Sedai guiding 5 young folks who might just help save or break the world. The whole time is a wheel concept gives the story this cool, mythic vibe. The cast is super diverse and talented, with Zoe Robbins as Nynaeve being a total standout. Magic, prophecy, political drama, it's all in there. Even with some changes from the books, the world's rich, the stakes feel big, and it's an adventure worth jumping into.
I suspect you.
Time to switch things up with Outlander. Yeah, it leans heavy on the romance, but it's still totally a fantasy fave. It follows Claire, a World War II nurse who suddenly gets yanked back to 1700 Scotland, right into the chaos of the Jacobite rebellion and into the arms of Jaime, a dreamy Highlander with serious main character energy. The time travel twist adds a fun layer, but it's the world building and that crazy chemistry between Claire and Jaime that really pulls you in. It mixes history, love, and fantasy so well, and the vibe is just super immersive. No wonder it's got such a loyal fan base.
Vampires and witches hiding in plain sight.
Next up is A Discovery of Witches. Perfect if you're into supernatural romance with a side of mystery. It follows Diana, a historian who's also a witch. Yep, double cool. And she stumbles on this ancient magical manuscript that kicks off a whole chain of chaos. Enter Matthew, a brooding centuries-old vampire who's also after the book. Sparks fly, secrets unravel, and suddenly they're caught in this super intense forbidden romance. The show blends modern and historical vibes so smoothly, and the settings, like Oxford and Sept-Tours, are just chef's kiss. It's magical, moody, and seriously addictive.
Bad judgment.
Time for some monster slaying with The Witcher. Based on the books, and yeah, the games too, it follows Geralt of Rivia, a grumpy, sword-swinging monster hunter just trying to survive in a wild world full of magic, shady politics, and freaky creatures. He crosses paths with Ciri, a princess with a huge destiny, and Yennefer, a sorceress with major power and attitude. The fight scenes? Absolutely epic. The dark, gritty vibe? Totally on point. Season 1's timeline was a bit all over the place, but once it clicks, it's super clever. And yeah, we're all still processing the Henry Cavill exit, but the show's still a must-watch fantasy ride.
I am an angel. You are a demon.
Let's switch gears to Good Omens, a quirky, fun ride that's equal parts humor, fantasy, and deep thoughts. Based on Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett's book, it's about Aziraphale, an angel, and Crowley, a demon, who've been hanging out on Earth for thousands of years, and shocker, have become best buds. When they find out the Antichrist is about to kick off the apocalypse, they decide to team up and stop it, because honestly, they like humans. The sets are gorgeous, the acting is stellar, and Frances McDormand's God narration, pure gold. It's a unique, lighthearted twist on good versus evil, and you'll probably be hooked in no time.
We represent a number of families who have lost children. This is war.
Last but definitely not least, we've got His Dark Materials. This one's set in a world where everyone has these talking animal companions called daemons. Basically, they're souls in animal form. The story follows Lyra, a young girl who's got a big destiny to take down the oppressive magisterium and free her world from their control over magic. Visually, it's stunning, especially the way they bring the daemons and magical worlds to life. It's got a great mix of action, suspense, and heart, even if the pacing drags a bit at times. A solid adaptation of Philip Pullman's books, definitely worth the watch. That's a quick look at some of the best fantasy TV series based on books. There's so much great storytelling out there. What's your favorite fantasy book adaptation? Let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more nerdy content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.